The last time we checked in, I was working on the Blender conference identity, and I scanned in all these little scribbles from the developers around here. So this week I took all the different scribbles from the developers and I put them together in some kind of collage. And so I modeled a whole bunch of assets for that, some pens, some pencils, some little sculpting tools, different objects that you can find here around the office as well, to suggest that that's all the stuff that is needed to make Blender. We will use this background scene in the background of several graphics that we need for the conference. So there is the main title graphic, there's the big welcome banner that is in the entrance when people come in, banner for the sponsors that are sponsoring this conference, flags that we have hanging from the building, the actual conference schedule, the program that people will get. All that stuff will have these kind of graphics, and that's what I'm making currently. Oh, here we also have Bowie's paw print. Very essential and important. Don't ask me how I got that. Now I can also fake Bowie's signature if I want to.
Since Haru accidentally deleted all of his recordings of today, let me go through it again. Okay, this week I jumped on to another project that is going on right now, which is Publico's Cowboy. We need a new robot. So far we only use the security bot that we made for the short film Charge, basically like as a stand-in, as a dummy robot. And we need a robot that's matching Cowboy more in scale and proportions. Vivian and I are designing a sci-fi police bot that we're trying to keep relatively simple, like simple joints for rotating things and treating some of the elements like we call it basically flesh metal. It's just meat, it's just like skin. We just regularly rig it. The cartoony style, we'll just sell it and we get to spend a bit less time on it and just get it to the rendered result sooner. No need to overthink it. Apart from that, I also got in touch more with Blender development module, the sculpting module, catching up a bit on what developers have been doing and giving a bit of feedback, testing new features.
So this week has been a little bit scattered. I'm still working on the packaging of the tools for Gold, so the add-on for the brushstroke style tools. And other than that, I've been doing a bunch of testing for Blender development because the beta stage for 4.3 is coming up, so we need to make sure that all the stuff that the developers have been working on gets properly tested so it can still make it into the main branch of the alpha version of Blender. And other than that, I've been looking a little bit into the Cowboy production as well, helping Publico out with some things, building a little tool that he can use later on in the pipeline to do a bunch of manual fixes, because the idea is that the base shading that we're making is probably going to be pretty simple compared to like a previous comparable production like Wing It, where the shading was pretty complex. The technical stuff had to do a lot of heavy lifting because we did minimal manual fixes on top. And here we're going to go kind of the other way around, where we do like a very simple shading setup that we have a lot of control over and then do manual fixes on top. So that's why I made a little tool where we can just do some grease pencil scribbles on top of the character on one frame, and then we can press a button and it will take that to the other frames as well when the character moves and just work. So the idea is that we can this way save doing these fixes on every single frame, but just doing on some of the keyframes, some of the key poses, and then keeping those different like shadow lines and stuff like that for the rest of the shot, or at least until the next key pose.
Oh shit, it's heavy, eh? Oh my god, I cannot fucking hold it. Eh? Okay, people, the robot is being in the process. We did already some sketches. We decided already what we liked, and then we moved into modeling. We did some basic shaping. And then this is gonna be next to Hjalti. Is gonna do a preliminary rig, and after that, I will take it and I will animate it the best of my abilities, and it will be amazing.
Yes, he loves brute forcing things. In that vein, we also evaluated a little bit the animation approach that we kind of implemented some tools for in the past, of giving a lot more artistic freedom about posing on a shot level to the animators by allowing them to sculpt keyframes on the fly with a combination of some Python and geometry nodes, which is something that Matt worked on together with me a little bit a while ago. And now Publico is using it to really hit the poses that the rig can't really easily achieve on its own, because the rig is relatively simple. Because usually with the productions we have like a lot of back and forth with riggers and animators to improve the rigs over time so they can really hit all of the key poses, which is very work-intensive workflow to get that all nailed down. So now the idea is to have more simple rigs where the animators can just do the basics to hitting the poses, and then really like nailing everything can still be done in a very flexible way by sculpting them in the shot. So the idea is to invest a little bit more into that workflow as well in the future, and improve those tools, make them more performant and everything. Take a look at this.
Oh!
I got your changes.
Made me happy.
I'm not super happy with them.
Oh, put that!
I think we gotta do something about that.
We have a problem. He doesn't have a body anymore.
It looks better in the animation file.
Oh shit! Oh, the shape keys, huh?
You changed the character design.
Oh, it's true. I forgot.
This week I mainly started to finalize everything but the last shot, and also I combined the last two shots into one longer continuous shot. So details like a window reflection of the car, like animating that. Right now I'm iterating on smaller details of the scene, you know, trying to keep everything coherent visually. So next week I want to sit down with Simon and talk a bit about this relatively new geometry nodes option or node, which basically allows you to convert curves into grease pencil. And since this is a grease pencil short and it doesn't have a lot of grease pencil yet, some, not a lot, I want to experiment and see if I can color blast or color splash the car with like grease pencil strokes. It would be pretty cool, but I need some of his math wizardry. I've been continuing on the windmill project. That is one of the projects that will release with the grease pencil update in November. Doing a lot of animation, keyframe animation, rigged animation, so using bones with grease pencil, and talking a lot with the developers as well. Last week we focused more on the texturing part of things. This week is really focusing on animating components in the shot, so the whole scene comes to life.
I mean, the problem is that the shape keys are created on a copy of the character that is already posed. If you have a different pose, then transferring it to that other pose. That's
so in theory, if you create some of these shape keys in resting pose,
yeah,
like for the face or something, you know, like if we for pose library stuff.
Yeah, exactly. For that will work like that. I think.
Okay, cool.
Probably.
Nice. You see? Thanks to you.
We're getting there.
Yeah. I'm a Blender prodigy. Now I don't know everything thanks to you two guys.
You will just absorb all the knowledge. But what if you become smarter than us?
Then you are.
Then we have to kill you.
I mean, then you can leave. you get fired. If I surpass you, that's how it goes.
You get shot out of the volcano.
Yes. You go out of the volcano. In the meantime, I'm gonna continue animating the cowboy and keep checking the blocks for more. No more. Okay? Okay, guys.